So sometimes the fish are out of pole range, and we're hopefully going to show you how to extract the most out of your peg with a rod and line. So you join us on a lovely sunny day at Packington for a bit of a bomb and maybe waggler session, depending on how mad they go. Just concentrating on lively F1. When those fish are just starting to wake up, but they're still out of pole range, so run on is today. Nice chunky F1. And you've got loads of options on this peg, but get them to come in when that water is still cold into sort of pole range can be tricky. So hopefully we're going to extract plenty on the old bomb and pellet with a few little tweaks. And if they do go silly, we've got our waggler rod there as well. So setup wise, I've got a little stealth bomb, nice little 5 grammer, 12 inches of 018, that's just one of the ready rigs, an MXC4. What size is that? That's a 16 to 018 with just a band and a 6mm fishery copper and pellet, so nothing complicated. And then just 10 or so pellets in line with my marker, and try and cast somewhere near it. And then I'm just timing my casts and giving it 5 or so minutes, just to say, because we are still quite early in the year. And then just a few pellets over the top as well. So I really shouldn't be moaning about the weather after all the rain that we've had recently, but I've just slipped my sunglasses on because the piercing sun's coming through and I can barely see anything, so my casting's even worse than normal. But now I've got no excuses, I can see what's going on. So just kicking off the session, I must stress this, it is still early in the year. We're not going mental, we're lashing in loads of 8mm pellets. To say we've gone for 6mm because there's predominantly F1s in here. There are some big carp in here as well, but I can get them to a nice distance, group them nicely. They're a little bit more attractive to the fish than 8mm, and it's just a case of, say, getting 8 or 10 pellets in my catty, and I'm gauging it every 2.5 minutes on my stopwatch and recasting every 5 minutes. Just trying to build my peg up, and then just got a multiple of hook baits. So we've got some 8mm expanders. It's really good with a nice soft bottom. Pardon me. And then just some different size pellets, some 8mm, some black 8mm, some white 6mm, and some red 6mm as well. So just changing your hook baits can be really important. You can go from having no bites whatsoever to changing it to something else, and it does really increase productivity. So that one literally pulled the rod off the rest. I weren't looking at all. So that was in the water about 3.5 minutes. So I re-pinged it after 2.5 minutes, and then just as I was thinking about recasting, a nice lively F1 has ripped the rod off, which is nice. Nice golden one. Safely graces the net, and they're a good size in it. They're not overly long, but they're heavy fish. So get him nice and secure, and my little hands can barely pick that one up. It's a double hand job. Oh, that sounds totally wrong. Yeah, so we'll safely put him in net to net. Get that nice and comfortable. Trap the bomb between my legs. Nice dry hands. Making sure I'm getting rid of all that slime off the line. And then we'll just go for a nice long fishery pellet. Going to get my rod in position, so winding it to where I want it. A few pellets in a pouch again, in line with my far bank marker. Pouching those out, and then trying not to hook the cameraman. Nicely feathering it down in a nice straight line. When I'm safe in my rest, grabbing a few more pellets, pouching out again, and then I'll just sink my line and tighten up to that. And we're fishing again, so resetting my clock, a few clicks on the clicker. Oh, indication straight away, is that going to go straight round? No, just a line bite. Right then, let's get down to rig wise. So nice simple setup, bring them into shot. So we've got an Ethos 9-foot feeder rod, 020 submerged main line. So it's really important main line wise not to have too thick a main line when we've got these really light inline pellet bombs. So I'm only fishing with 5 grams. There is a little bit of wind today, but you can plot that nice within your like catapulting range. So just having that thinner main line, you don't need any thicker than 020 anyway. It's just going to aid your casting. So running down onto hook length material, that is an MXC4 in a size 16, just one of the ready rigs, and I've trimmed him down to 12 inches. And I say that bomb is just free running on those little quick change stops. And then just geared up with the new swanky panky HX Pro 3000 reel that really are a dream to use. And then I've token gesture, just in case I go a bit silly, just a Waggler rod set up. I don't envisage using it today. You can see when the sun shines, probably 3 foot down the pellets on the bottom, so it is really early in the year, but I've got it just an option, just in case I come up off the bottom. Right then, here's another one. Again, just on a basic 6mm fishery coppens pellet. So it's so nice to get some bites after what's been a long winter, and we're literally just ripping the rod off the rest. There we go. He was ready for the net the first time round. Not as big that time, but again a nice quick bite. They're all immaculate condition here at Packington. I keep chinning him. Snaffled that 6mm. I'll gently plop him into the net. So again, the band's just hooked round itself, so making sure it's sitting off the back of the hook properly. Like so. Getting rid of all that old rubbish, grabbing my towel, nice dry hand. And then we're just going to grab a nice long pellet there. So get myself nice and comfortable into position, putting my rod down, catapult in hand, in line with my far bank marker, 10 or so pellets, casting out, and really important just to feather that in as well with that nice light balm. Ignoring my rig altogether. A few pellets again. And then just tightening up and then resetting our clock at the same time. And we'll just click a couple of pound for him. Just got the one net in today, just for a bit of a catch shot, so just going to click it, say, to £40, and then if we catch any more, they can be released freely into the lake. Moving on to fish location and where you'd start. As I say, this peg today has got loads of options. You get carried away with this right hand island, this left hand island, chucking or pinging along to where the tree is on the left hand island. You could even potentially like fish a feeder across to the far island as well. So where you're starting in your peg is really important. I'm just pinging my pellets at 20 to 25 metres straight in front of me. I've got a nice willow tree on the far bank. The depth is quite uniform out there. There isn't any Pacific shelves or anything like that. So we're in about 5 foot of water, pinging a few pellets over the top. I'm looking to build an area up. I say it is still early in the year. Hopefully they come over the feed and they come over confidently. If that isn't the case, I've got the option to carry on feeding my area for when they do have a feed a little bit later on the day, but I can just pick them off, just sitting back off the feed. That can be quite successful way of fishing. So feeding Pacific area and just chucking left or right, or say 5 to 10 metres past the feed, and just picking them off. A really important part of my feeder fishing, well, rod and line fishing, or every part of my fishing really, if I haven't got a clock in front of me, I feel like that tip's been in the water about 3 hours, and in reality it's been in there about 30 seconds. So for me it's really important just to time my casts. I can see when I'm getting regular bites, and I can see when I need to feed and not feed. I struggle to keep my hand out that box. I love feeding lots of bait. And if I'm getting a few quick bites, I soon get carried away and you end up overfeeding your peg. So I'm just trying to be regimented in what I'm doing. Say, giving it 5-minute casts, feeding a few pellets every 2.5 minutes, and then casting into my feed has been the best way to go early doors. But as I say, it's a strange time of year. The sun's, oh, there's a bite now. Just get it out the grip rest at the back. The sun has started to shine for the first time, which feels like it never. And so the water is gin clear, and the fish don't know where they want to be. There's balls of fish, just a little left one that time. Oh, and a terrible bit of netting. There's balls of fish popping up on the surface, but you won't be able to line those up properly. So just being patient. As I say, that's been in the water 4 minutes and 20 seconds, which to me felt an absolutely eternity, and I would have ended up recasting and refeeding and potentially missing that fish. So just making sure my pellet isn't twisted around the band. Nice clear hook length. So we're going to just put that ready in our rest, line myself up nicely, get me back to the camera, in line with far bank marker, try not to cough. A few pellets into the lake. Oh, even got a bonus leaf fish. Just removing the debris, happy with my pellet. Okay, so back to the camera. Nicely in line, and then just feathering that down. So whilst I'm doing that, just resetting my clock. into the rest on the back, so when we have those savage bites and I'm not paying attention, the rod doesn't go in. A few pellets in the pouch again, in line with my marker, pushing my left hand forward and just releasing. Happy days. A couple of clicks on the clicker and we're fishing again. And I say already, I'm like, oh, I need to recast, I need to refeed, and it's literally been 30 seconds. You need to calm down. We're going to call this the last one of the day, just a little pecker. Hopefully if you've liked my nice simple approach to when those fish aren't feeling confident and you need to pick them off outside the pole range. Please remember, as always, to like the post and subscribe to the Fish Matrix YouTube channel. Thanks folks.